Well, the day one patch notes are finally here for Anthem. They will go live February 22nd. Let's take a look. This one's going to be a big one. That's right. And we got some loading screen fixes coming on our way. Let's take a look. Hello, my friends. Boomy here once again with another video for you, my Anthem brothers and sisters. How's all my freelancers doing out there? This is your first time on the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more and all your Anthem news and updates and fun. First off, before we get into the patch notes, I found something on the interwebs that I thought was quite hilarious. And I think the Grabbits are ready for us. What do you guys think? Huh? Bam! So I saw this on the interwebs, and I thought this was hilarious via the Anthem show, which is a podcast as well. It says, look at them, it's us or them. And in the Grabbits, they're ready. They're ready. They're done. They've lost over 7 million of their kind. More now that the early release has happened. They're ready for us, my friends. They're ready, but we, too, are ready for them. Anyways, my friends, like I said in the opening package, the day one patch notes are here. And they're pretty hefty, and there's a lot in there. They didn't go into full detail with every single thing, but I grabbed this from the Forbes magazine article, which gave us a little more detail here and there by the writer himself. So let's take a look. There's a lot here, especially when it comes to the loading screen boss. Yay! Well, here we are. Here's the Forbes news article about the day one patch notes by Ball Tassie, senior contributor, right there. You go look it up. The link will be down below. He also talks about, before we get right into it, in addition to a sizable day one patch, BioWare has moved swiftly to hotfix two other issues right now. The first being killing a chest exploit that was allowing players to easily farm endgame gear. The second being a nerf to the already infamous Tombs quest, where it now starts tracking your progress toward the quest when you hit level 3. That means when you finally need to complete it, you should be much, much further into it than if you were starting at level 10 or 12, like players have been doing this week. Now let's get straight into the patch notes. Here they go. High level fixes. Improved loading times. And as he contributes, far and away, this is the biggest complaint about the game right now. And I totally agree. This has been, out of all the complaints I've been seeing, this is the biggest complaint. And I know that they are working on it, and hopefully this will really improve the loading screen time and wait that everyone is going through. And it continues, and some people have tracked the loading screens before, during, and after missions are actually longer than the gameplay of those missions in some instances. But how much of a reduction there will be is still unclear. Yeah, we won't know until day one. So fingers are most definitely crossed. He continues, fixed many infinite loading screens. This was supposed to be fixed already, but Paul got the 95% loading bug a few times on Xbox One this week. Yeah, I've been hearing about the consoles having more issues than the PC users having, not the PS4 people, because, well, they're just, they're not allowed to play. That sucks. But yes, hopefully this will be fixed. I have faith in BioWare to get this done and get this done right, Lord willing. They said they also fixed multiple challenges not tracking properly. A number of issues have been fixed that were causing players to disconnect or crash. And weapons and gear now have numbers present for modifiers. General fixes and improvements. Loot reveal and expedition summary now correctly played during the end expedition screen. The gathered party mechanic has been made more lenient in a number of situations. This should hopefully reduce the out of mission area prompt that appears all the time during missions, which, yeah, I'll agree. I got that a lot. I'm like, why? Stupid tethering. No word on if loading into missions at separate times missing dialogue will be fixed. It continues, at the end of expedition screens, players will no longer get stuck on recording victories or skipping all. I don't remember getting stuck on that in the demos and whatnot, but I don't know. Game no longer hangs in Javelin menu when unlocking the second, third, or fourth Javelin. Yes, I've heard of those complaints. During the mission, what freelancers do, dying after killing Junk Maw and freeing Arcanists leaves you unable to progress. This has been fixed. Challenges now unlocked for players at the correct levels. This may have something to do with the Tombs hotfix, or it could be something else. Fix some camera issues during cutscenes. Legendary contracts can now be accepted from the Social Hub contract board. Some enemies have had their shield values decreased. Some elite and legendary enemies have ludicrously high... That is probably one of my favorite words in the world. Ludicrously reminds me of Spaceballs. Ludicrous speed. Ludicrously high shield values. So this is an underrated change. Paul is glad to see, and I too would be glad to see that. Loot now properly drops for players who are downed. This fixes the glaring issue where you could spend 20 minutes killing a Titan, but if you were down when it died, you would get nothing. Yes, I have heard that complaint, and I do agree. That is annoying as poo, and I can see the rage quitting on that one. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah. The texture quality on NPC Prospero has been improved. Fixing his cross eyes. Yeah, I kind of noticed that in the demo, but I didn't want to say anything. No, I didn't want to offend anyone, because you know how some people could be these days. Final boss of Strongholds now drop loot instead of only being shown on the end of Expedition screen. This is a very good change, he adds, and I agree. I'm surprised I got out this fast. Dude, I honestly believe BioWare is just going nuts brigade right now, doing as much as they can for Friday, because we are only like 2 days away from this sucker going live. It continues, fix the timeouts on echoes and relics to prevent griefing and to handle disconnections properly. He adds, this was a huge problem in the demo where I should disconnect holding an echo and it would destroy progress for the entire mission unless everyone went and drowned themselves to reset. Which sounds like an extremely drastic and just really sad way to go. Players can no longer fall through the floor during the third trial in the Fortress of Dawn. Darn it, I don't know. Completing the tutorial expedition will now show the correct ranger appearance. Yay. After disconnecting, rejoining an expedition will now place you back into a squad if you were in one previously. They also corrected an issue where players could not interact with each other in the launch bay in certain circumstances, which completely, voids the whole reason for the launch bay. It's a social place, but none of us want to talk to each other. It's just weird, you know? We just want to make sure we're around, maybe have a cuddle every once in a while, but yeah, just don't talk to me. No, I'm sorry. Correcting an issue during the mission, bad deal, where outlaws won't spawn, blocking progress. Yeah, that sucks when that happens. The start of the expedition screen has been improved. He adds, curious to see what this means. Exactly. They also addressed a variety of situations where killing enemies does not properly progress world events. Yeah, that's not good. Opening a chest now increments Tomb of the Legionnaire progress for all squad members present. This now makes the Tomb quest he adds doable with the group. He continues, my guess is with all these changes, the Tomb quest really won't be an issue going forward. I don't know about you, I keep hearing about this Tomb quest, and I just keep thinking about Tomb Raider. It's just what it is. Scar snipers can no longer shoot through Storm Shield. Oh, that's good. What good is a shield if people can shoot through it? Rangers rule. Corrected an issue where players would get stuck on the end of the expedition screen in some situations. Yes, I have had that happen. This happened to me. He continued. Him too. Oh my goodness. What? Players will no longer get disconnected if joining the Finding Old Friends mission while the cinematic is playing. He adds, I think a ton of people miss some important cutscenes in this mission because of this. And you don't ever want to miss a cutscene, because BioWare is just amazing when it comes to cutscenes and their stories. So yeah, you don't want to take that out of, it doesn't want to unimmerse you in the whole thing. Continues, address a number of situations where players can get stuck on the environment in the launch bay. Also increased the damage of the electric status effect. Corrected an issue where the Shield of Dawn could be crafted with less materials than intended in some situations. They also continue, the Platinum Mission feat now grants completion as intended. Status effects can more reliably be applied to Titans. Now as for Strongholds, I didn't drop anything. Fixed an issue that would cause a Stronghold server crash after defeating the last boss. Temple of Scar, players can no longer get stuck in the Mind Tunnel. The Mind Tunnel. Where am I in the explosives room? Temple of Scar players can no longer be blocked from entering the explosives room due to fog wall. It's just too foggy, man. We can't go in, dude. Yeah, man, we'll stay outside. Grabbits. Fixed a tyrant mine so people that join the Stronghold in progress do not end up locked away from their team. They also adjusted lighting in Tyrant Mine underwater sections to make it easier to navigate to the exit. He adds, I've memorized this map at this point where I know exactly where to go anyway, but this is good. The Swarm Tyrant will no longer get stuck in the side cave entrances in some situations. They've also corrected an issue where players would spawn into different areas of Tyrant Mine in certain situations. Gear and weapons. Told you this is a long one, my friends. After having first pilot unlock suit after tutorials, creating a new pilot and going to forge no longer causes load screen hang. It's a lot of load screen stuff going on, huh? Anyone else see a pattern? Ice damage bonuses are now correctly applied on ice gear. He adds no word on fixing how buggy the game gets when you yourself are frozen. Suit-wide bonuses from inscriptions are now functioning properly. Yay! They continue, players can no longer salvage equipped items. He adds they really need a lock item system in general. Yeah, that'd be nice. Javelin specific gear and or weapons are no longer able to be used on javelins they aren't intended for. He adds, wait, this was a thing? I didn't know this was a thing either. So I'm like, wait, what? Correcting an issue where in some circumstances masterwork components do not have any inscriptions. What? That would suck. The Endless Siege Masterwork autocannon no longer displays a damage increase of 0% in its tooltips. Now let's talk about some javelins, eh? The Colossus Javelin is now able to activate its shield more quickly after using an ability or firing a weapon. That's good. That's good. That's major. That's game stuff right there. The Storm Javelin now reacts to getting hit when its shields are up. Well, that's good. You want to have that. You want to have that realism when you're there and you get hit and your shields. You just, even on on the Enterprise when the shields got hit, they got jostled around a little bit. They said to fix an exploit that allowed the Storm's ultimate attack to be used more times than intended. Yes, I have seen this done. I have seen this on YouTube and on Twitch. And, hey, who wouldn't want all the power of nature as many times as you would like? I'm just saying. The Colossus Javelin can now shield and revive at the same time. Interceptor combo or Aura has been increased in power and now has a damage over time component. Now as you're crafting, I don't know what word that was, but I just said it. Non-masterwork materials purchased from the crafting store now show as the proper rarity instead of incorrectly showing as masterworks. And with control, additional mouse and keyboard control improvements have been made. Huzzah. Your RUI, the ever-present UI. Some conversations were not popping up the reputation points post conversation completion. This has been fixed. The squad screen now displays the correct information for each player. They also fixed a number of issues where subtitles will no longer get stuck on the screen after dialogue, I can't speak, has finished as often. I did run into this during the demo. I'm glad they got that fixed. Settings should no longer reset upon exiting and restarting the game on Xbox One. Motion blur can now correctly be turned off. Huzzah! The electric status effect now shows scaled damage properly. An option has been added to hide the squad member HUD. The edge of the compass will now pulse to indicate enemy locations. Oh, I kind of like that. I really actually kind of like that. And apparently so does Paul. He says this is helpful as it's often hard to know where you're being shot from. Amen to that. I can't tell you how many times I had in a demo where I'm being shot at. I'm like, wait, where am I getting a shot at? Who? What? Where's it? I don't, what's happening? A notification has been added in Fort Tarsis if players' vault is at cap of 250 items. On the repair, the Strider step of a cry for help. The search radar has been adjusted to correctly lead a player to all 4 tools. Your primer and detonator icons have been added to all interceptor gear. He adds they really need a primer and detonator tutorial. As of right now, 80% of players will miss this entire system. That is true. That is something I have been seeing, is that BioWare really needs to come out and talk more about the primer and detonator mechanics within Anthem. He continues, corrected a user interface issue where a player's ultimate would show as available when it wasn't. Yep, I ran into that a few times. And then he continues, after seeing all this, it seems to feel like you've been playing Anthem in the past week. You've been less of a VIP player and more of an early tester. Yeah, Yeah, I can see that. Most people will, with the PC Origin Premier version, have beaten the entire story campaign already without any of these fixes, and these are many of the people that have already cemented opinions in their mind. And you can read the rest in the article below, for which I will post. And I think that last part is very important, that you have people who are automatically making up their minds about this game via their experiences either in the demo, the VIP demo, or the early release, and before day one happens with this giant patch. And some people have just made negative reviews about that. And I honestly kind of think, whatever issues there have been, I think that's a little premature. I'm a big believer, and I've had conversation with friends on the Twitter about this, that we need to wait and see what day one brings us. And if this patch in day one just doesn't fix a lot of the main issues that we're having, then okay, yeah, I can see where some of the bad reviews are justified. But until then, I think it's better to wait than to jump the gun on some things. Anyways, my friends, tell me, what do you think about these patch notes? I think it's good. I think there's a lot of good promises in here, things they have fixed. The main telling thing will be the loading screens, and which seem to be the biggest issue right now, and some stuff with tethering as well. My friends, like I said, put your comments in the comment section below. Make sure you hit that like button if you like what you see here. And if you really like what you see here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Become part of the family here on YouTube, the freak show of YouTube, the black sheep of gaming. My friends, have a good one. We'll see you later. And if you're interested in supporting me on a more personal level, make sure you check out the Patreon right here. Friends, remember to be kind. It's about community. And we'll see you later. Good day.